Alright, what's good, y'all boys, and welcome to my ED3 guide. First things first, let's get acquainted with the bosses real quick. So the first boss is the Crassian Leviathan. It has basic mechanics. It is very simple to dodge the attacks, and I'll explain the attacks when I get into the dungeon later on in the video. The second boss is Taraket. He is fairly hard, but it's easy once you master it. The two main things about this boss that everybody hates is the corpse carrier, because he spawns a lot of skeletons and they do a lot of damage real fast. And the other thing that hurts you really bad if you don't kill it is the Rift of the Undead. But I'll explain more when I get to that boss. And the boss everybody loves is the Ambassador. He is a gangster. I ain't gonna lie to you. The man hits hard, hits like a truck. But he's easy once you learn. But if you never did this dungeon before, it looks and feels frustrating, but it's easy. I'll break it down to you real easy, and it gets real simple once you learn how to fight him. Alright, let's talk about the inventory. For what I recommend to bring, I recommend a shield. The higher the shield, the better the heal. Stat boosting potion, overload potions, elder overloads, holy overloads, super restores for your prayer. I usually bring 3. Mechanized Chinchompas for the AoE for the minions and the mobs. Diamond Criminal Bolts as a swap from Ruby. Like Ruby is for the bosses and Diamond Criminal Bolts are for the minions. You can use Ascension Bolts, make it easier for you if you want to go cheaper. Essence of Finality with the Dark Bow spec in it. It's really good because the Dark Bow has no cooldown once you get the adrenaline, so you can always do it once you get it. A Weapon Poison plus plus. The minions drop it, so it's technically a infinite supply. An Enhanced Excalibur for some heals over time. A Replenishment Potion. It gives you 25% adrenaline and prayer at the same time, which is really good. If you're in a bind that you need some adrenaline real quick, just like at the Ambassador, if you mess up and use a threshold, you can use this. Lucky Charms for some extra money. Vulnerability Bombs for Taraket and the Ambassador. And the rest I just fill with Shark. You can use any food you want, but I just bring Shark. For the equipment that's worn, basically I use Elite Serenic. I grinded it, so I might as well wear it. And it doesn't degrade in the Elite Dungeons. So it's a good way to have amazing armor that doesn't degrade while you're in a dungeon like this. It's perked out. Relentless 5, Crackling 4, Impatient 4. And the Impatient 4, it gives you a chance to get more adrenaline. At level 20, it boosts the effects. And the bottoms, I have Enhanced Devoted 4 and Botting 4. You need that crit chance. It's probably the best thing you'll ever get. And Illuminated Book. These books, I ain't gonna lie to you, they do a good amount of damage. Like 2k roughly. So it's an extra damage to have, which is good. Max Cape because we max, baby. Ascensions, because these are good crossbows. Perked out with P6 and Genocidal. Karaming 4 and Aftershock 1. Cinderbanes, because all the bosses in this dungeon are poisonable. And the better the poison that you have, the more you can hit. Like, if you equipped it with the Weapon Poison plus plus, it'll stack even higher. Fleeting Boots, because they're amazing also. You can move while using Rapid Fire. And the Reaver's Ring. The 5% crit chance that it gives is amazing with botting 4. It's really good to have. But the only downside is that reduced accuracy. Also, for a cheap alternative for a necklace would be the Farsight Blood Necklace. Is basically you put a blood shard into the Farsight necklace and it has plus 44. And plus, getting some heals over time is worth it too. Regarding the familiars you could bring, there's only really 3 that I recommend. Is basically the Ripper Demon, of course, is, I ain't gonna lie, it is probably the best you can get as a damage. The only downside is that it is expensive. You can grind your own, but there's a high chance at dying. But if you can get them, get them. The Yak, if you're new here, if you're new at ED3, I recommend a Yak because I use the Yak a lot. And it's really good if you're trying to survive. Like, regardless of like the kill times, but if you're trying to survive, this is probably the best option you would go for. If you have the summoning level, and of course any Beast of Burden is probably the best. War Tortoise, Terror Bird. And another alternative for the Ripper Demon is the Steel Titan. If you have the summoning level, this is also a really good option if you're trying to go for the cheaper side. Budget, you know what I'm saying? I use it sometimes because it's cheaper and I'm not trying to use all my Ripper Demons at all. No lie, it really does a good amount of damage. Like, regarding bossing, it serves its purpose, I ain't gonna lie to you. Alright, let's talk auras. Basically, the one you would use the most would be Reckless. If you're looking for another alternative to Reckless, you would use Supreme Sharpshooter. This one gives 10% increased range accuracy, and also another aura that you could use is Dark Magic. Alright, so let's get into running ED3. So we're going to be using a Ripper Demon. We're going to summon it. Use the scrolls on it. Now let's get inside. So first thing you want to do is just continue down. Put your Chinchampas on. Use your Overload. Kill these minions. And continue down. It's pretty straightforward, I ain't gonna lie with you. So you will kill everything in this area, so it'll open these gates right here. Now, when that's done, you would just run up, kill this group again. And you don't turn on the aura yet. What I would recommend is turn on your aura at the boss, like at the start of the first boss, because typically I can do about 2 runs an hour with some time remaining on the aura. And the cool thing is, click on the minion and then you can surge easier over there. So you would only kill these 2 right here, these 2 zealots. You would only kill these 2 and it'll open the gate. So you will continue down. And then kill these 2 zealots and then these 2 scouts. Once you kill those 4, and then it should open. Alright, so that's open. Kill these group of zombies. There's a mini boss here called Boss Face, and he drops a sword that's worth about 11 mil at the time. So once all those zombies are cleared, you will come over here and cross this mast. There's no failing it. There's no agility requirement, so you can just cross it. Come over here, kill all the zombies here. I usually like to turn on my prayer here, just to make it go by a little bit quicker. And then the last gate right here is the 2 zealots. And then it'll open up to the first boss. Alright, so after that's done, you can teleport and leave. And I'll see you at the first boss. You don't really have to restock. You would only come to this chest to get your HP gained back. Get your adrenaline full. Continue where you left off. And a good upgrade to get is the chest, so you can bank here. But once you like teleport out and come back in, all the minions are gone, so you don't have to worry about them. So this is where I would use the aura. So a good thing is if you right click your Ripper Demon, the summoning points where it says 36 out of 60, and you can set it to 1, so it'll do a special attack every 1 attack. So this is where you would activate the aura, activate it, anticipation, and come right next to his mouth. Death Swiftness, and this green, that green attack he does, if you stand in front of it, you will die. Because I've done it before and I've died. So you see how it's sweeping its head across the floor? If you stand there, you will get hit with high damage. So basically all you really gotta do is just move side to side every time he does it. And that's all the mechanics that this boss has. When it bites down like that, that's melee. And that's pretty much it. With the aura on, it'll hit you about 4140, as you saw. And if by that time you can use your soul split, get your HP back. This green stuff on the floor, they will stun you, so you gotta be mindful of that. And be careful of that green attack. But this is how close you can get to it without getting hurt. And that's it. That's basically this whole boss. Once he does that, just move over to the side. Same thing, just go back on the other side. And that's it. That's the first boss. After that, turn off your prayers. Continue along. Drink your overload, equip your chompas again. Kill this zealot and all the little scuttlers around it. That's what will open the next gate. After that's done, it'll be opened, and then all the zombies here. After that's done, it'll open the next gate. Continue along. jump down the cliff. You would kill this Necromancer, so I would recommend just stand right here so you can AoE all of them. And then it'll open this next door, and plus the huge skeletons that were there. So you can go either left or right side, it doesn't matter. You will kill this one Necromancer. And then you would move on. And then these 3 zombies right here, you would have to kill. And then you will go through the temple door, because it'll be open now. Continue along. Equip your regular crossbow, because all you need to do now is just kill this one Necromancer, and then the next one. And sometimes they move, and sometimes they don't. This time they did. So you would just continue along. And then you would go in here and activate this Blackstone artifact. Make sure it spins. That's how you know it activated. And if you examine it, it said this controls the barrier ahead. So you would just continue along. Anticipate here, so you don't get damaged too heavily. And then you see how this is gone. The barrier here is gone. So you would heal up a good amount, and then turn on a range prey, and then continue along. Kill this Necromancer right here. Then you would kill these sea horrors. And try not to die. This is probably the worst part of the dungeon right here. After these 2 sea horrors are dead, that gate would open. And then kill these 3 minions right here. The Sotapana. You kill these. And then continue along. Anticipate here. And then you would kill these 2 Necromancers. And the 2 huge skeletons that are here. So once they're gone, it should open the barrier, which it does. By that point, you can teleport back. Get your prayer back. What I usually bring here is a whole bunch of regular Ceradomin brews. Just stock up like that. And continue along. Put that in your hotbar. Continue where you left off. Teleport. Number 4. Necromancer's Amphitheater. And this is where it gets interesting. Alright, so basically this boss is fairly easy. There's nothing really too complicated about it. You would anticipate, turn on your prayers, go in, Death Swiftness first, pray magic, because that fire is magic. And then you would just go in with your basic abilities. Get them as low as you can. And there's a cool thing about it. If you push him, you can push him with the route ability or a kick, and it'll let him be on this side, so that corpse carrier will spawn first. And then what you could do is throw your corruption shot and let it hit him. Like, let it spread in so it can kill all these skeletons. And when he says, and once he brings up Death Swiftness, he'll start attacking with range. What you can do is hit Debilitate. Let it be easier. And this is where the vulnerability bombs come in handy. You would just throw it in the beginning of the fight. And by this time, So now he's over here. We have 100% adrenaline. So we can use the planted feet on the Excalibur, turn it on. You can soul split here real quick. The first thing you would do is Greater Ricochet and Corruption Shot to make it the easier. Pray melee, and then when Taraket blows his fire toward you, just switch your prayer. Prayer flicking, basically. And then once that's done, just surge back over here. Bring the minions with you. So then the Greater Ricochet can bounce off of them. And then continue damaging. One cool thing too about the Dark Bow in the EOF is that if you need to, you can use that spec to use it. So you see how the Corruption and the Greater Ricochet killed all the little minions, except one, which is on me. But we got Greater Ricochet again, so most likely it'll take care of it. So here we have the next minion. We can Death Swiftness again, same thing. Greater Ricochet. This one attacks with melee and it makes his attack stronger. So what you can do, just prayer flick. And then once that's dead, hit him with debilitate. And then after this, he's not going to summon any more minions. So you can just go in and he'll continue this for the rest of the fight. And then when he gets below 200,000, he'll say Krenon cannot be stopped. So what you want to do, back up, and he'll summon a wall of like dead spirits. And what you can do, just walk in a straight line, soul split if you need to, if you get real quick health. And then switch to the combat style, and just walk in a straight line. That's all you gotta do. And then after this, Death Swiftness if you have the adrenaline. You could drink a replenishment to get even more boosted adrenaline. And that's about it. That's the whole boss right here. That's it. That's Taraket right there in a nutshell. Pick up the drop and continue along. You can turn off your prayer right now. Save it. Once you get here, you'll have to defeat these three monsters right here. They hit with magic and melee at the same time, so you just I pray magic because magic, they both hit hard, but you got to pick your poison, which one you're gonna dodge first. I choose magic because magic hurts. And then you see how he has a sword. He hits a melee, so switch it. Come over here. You will kill this one Calgarian demon, and then it'll open this gate right here. After that's done, it would open up. And then you could ignore all these monsters. You can kill them if you want to, but it's up to you. And then continue down, switch to melee prayer. And then right behind this bush, you'll see another Necromancer. Kill it. And then this one all the way at the other end, you would just kill it. It'll open this gate, so you can continue along, surge over. And then kill this other Necromancer and it'll open this last gate. Once that's done, jump down this go into the abyss. And what I do is I turn off my prayers. And it's funny because he does say your character says some funny stuff when you jump down. Depends on what it is. You will continue down. Pray melee. You can soul split here. Make it easier. You can get your HP back. And what you really need to kill is the scuttler. And I would pretty much kill everything here, but this scuttler is really what's stopping you from getting to the next area. Once that's done, you would come over here, turn on your magic prayer, and then you would kill these two warp skeletons. They hit hard with magic, so you gotta be careful. Even though one hit with melee. So then you would kill these three zealots. Continue along. And like I said about the lucky charms, they drop a good amount of money. So I got 15 onyx dust. And onyx dust is like a good amount of change right now, so get them if you can. After those two skeletons and those zealots are done, you can kill these warp skeletons. You would have to kill these two and then these two scouts over here. After they're done, you will continue along. In my recommendation, you should kill these two mini bosses because it is Dungeoneering tokens and you need these to sustain here. So I'm gonna kill them for the sake of the video. Death Swiftness if you want big boy damage. And I ain't gonna lie, these little mini bosses, they speak some truth. They do stun, so you gotta use freedom and anticipation to get out of it. So we're almost done with this, and then it'll be on to the ambassador. After these two are done, we will continue along, and you see how this gate is open now? Since we killed those little minions, the little minions. And then go back, get your prayers. And in my recommendation for this boss, I carry a lot of Ceradomin brews. Like, let me just make it better for y'all, so y'all can see. This is what I like to bring. It's the same inventory, but just a lot of Ceradomin brews. Same inventory. Except the only thing different is the prayer renewal, and that's about it. And the main thing that I would switch is the bolts. I bring Hydrix bolts because you need adrenaline here. You'll see what I'm saying. And I bring Onyx bolts for the heal, just in case you don't want to run out too much on the brews, because the brews are expensive. 43k is that's yaks, you know what I'm saying? That's yaks and on the soul. So continue where you left off. And the cool thing is the ambassador drops Hydrix bolts, so if you get them, you can keep coming back here. So basically, you will come in. Don't be too intimidated by it. So I drink my overload potion, the Elder Overload, a prayer renewal, anticipation, surge in. The first thing he does with range is that he hits with magic and then continues with rage. And as soon as he drops that thing to bring the dust on the floor, like the little corruption on the floor, he'll throw a magic. So resonance this hit, and then move in closer. Then after that, you would just continue in. And then he'll summon a black hole. What you need to do is you need to stun it. And then continue along. And every time he uses that lightning on the floor is magic. So you need a prayer flick. So after that's done, is he'll start to, this is the next phase right here. So what you would do is start killing the spinners, equip your Hydrix bolts, use your best thresholds that you can. And then just continue along. This is where the Dark Bolt shines, and the Hydrix bolts shine the most. So you would just go in, and you could one cycle this right here. You see how that Dark Bolt, you just gets rid of it automatically. And then this will be it right here. So this is one cycling right here. What I do after this, you can build up some adrenaline real quick. Death Swiftness and throw a vulnerability bomb at this point. And then let it ride. Magic attack. Go back to Ruby bolts. And the dust hits you for a lot. So what you would do, another black hole came in, stun it, and continue along. At 550,000 damage, he'll continue the next phase. So you got 2 dust on the floor to get it down to that much. So we've successfully did it. Debilitate the boss if he's doing too much damage to you. And just keep going. Prayer flick when needed. And at this point, I don't use my vulnerability bombs yet, but you can just wait. Keep damaging the boss. And you can't kill these Crassians. Even if you examine them, he says they're mostly invulnerable. You hit ones on them, so you can't really do it. And when Cyril appears, he heals you, which is great. So what also you could do is now you could throw a vulnerability bomb at him. So this is the last phase, and the main mechanic of this phase is these hands. And if you gotta go according to which hand is properly there. So if you see him slap down, try to get in front of it, and it'll turn into black smoke. And then when this is done, once this phase is here, you can put on your devotion and magic prayer, because it hits mainly with magic in this phase. And then just continue down. Don't be too nervous here. Just remember, just get as much damage as you can. Once he gets to a certain amount of HP, you can switch to your Onyx bolts, or whatever bolts you're gonna bring. So now this is the second time you would reflect and resonance. Anticipation if you're too low on HP. And then that's it. And then that's rinse and repeat right here. Throw your last vulnerability bomb, because I carry 3. And this will be the kill right here. pray magic, devotion, and then that's it. Alright, so we got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It's not bad in my opinion, but it is what it is. And then that's it. If you have the ED2 pet, you can do this, and you can talk to Cyril, and he'll make the pet for you. Other than that, that's it. That's the whole ED3. Hope y'all enjoyed, and hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna see y'all in the next guide.